everyone, welcome to this month's vlog where I am absolutely shattered, ready for bed, and I think I'm just gonna go home right now. Just kidding, I can't go home right now. I've got a few things I need to do. Before I get too far into the long speech, I want to say a big hello to Tim and Tracy, who popped into the shop on that sort of Mother's Day weekend lead up. They came up from Coffs Harbour, which is a few hours drive away. I'm pretty sure they were here on holiday as well, but they actually did pop in to come and say hello, and we had a lovely chat. So thank you so much for coming in. If you do watch on here and you come into the shop, make sure you introduce yourself, because honestly I don't get to see your profile pictures. I don't always recognize names, especially if you're using a different name online to what you are actually known as in person and stuff. But I really do love meeting and chatting to you guys when you come into the store. So always make sure you say hello at the time and not tell me, you know, half an hour after you've been in that you've been into the shop, because I usually feel really bad if I then don't get to stop and actually have a really good chat with you. So huge thank you for coming into Tim and Tracy there. I'm so exhausted right now. I am ready to close the door, but I can't do that. It has been a hectic morning. It has just actually gone past 12 o'clock, so I can actually stop in a minute to have a bit of a lunch break and a rest. It's been a pretty hectic morning. It's been a hectic few days, and I know that it's not going to get any better. And I know so many of you have been saying, make sure you take time out to rest. I had every intention of doing so until somebody decided to throw jury duty at me. So yes, I have been called up for jury duty, which starts next week and goes for a whole month apparently. And basically why this has been such a problem is because with jury duty, you actually don't know if you are required to attend court until 5 o'clock the night prior to having to attend court. So basically for the next month I have to keep checking with the jury portal to see whether or not I am going to be able to come into work, whether or not I would be able to go up to the house if we need to do something up there. I actually won't know until 5 o'clock the night prior. I have had to cancel some of my medical appointments that I have, just saying to them, look, I will not know until 5 o'clock the night before whether or not I can attend, and I don't want to mess you guys around, so can we please just cancel the next 4 weeks, and I will book in, can you book me in for the end of June so that I'm not messing them around. I do apparently get an allowance if I'm called in of $43, which is meant to cover, my boss is meant to pay me. They can't refuse to pay me. The $43 is meant to cover my transport costs and lunch costs and stuff like that. My transport is actually going to be I have to travel twice as far if I have to go into the Brisbane courthouses, so it's not going to actually cover diddly squat. It certainly won't cover even a third of the rent of the shop on a day that I have to close, and if I close I don't make any sales, I don't make any money for rent and everything else. So it's put a added strain onto things, which has meant that I haven't been able to rest while I try and make sure that I've got all my stock updated in the shop, while I try and work out how I'm going to generate money when my shop isn't open. My parents are also going away on a big holiday, so it's not like I can ask my mum to sit in here one day and do sales. And you know, it's put a real strain on things. And I even did apply for a exemption based on the fact that I'm a sole trader with a bricks and mortar building. You know, I won't get paid if I'm not open, and that means nothing. So I have to go and do this jury duty, and it has just thrown a complete spanner in the works in terms of what we can and can't do. So everything I had planned for this time when jury duty is on, I've had to move forward and try and get it all done in the last 2 weeks to make sure I've got plenty of stock for online ordering, to make sure the stuff we had to do for the house has all been done. I've had to, so much stuff has had to be rearranged because of this. So I don't know, it has to be done. I can't get out of it. Nothing I can do, I just have to work with it. But it has meant that I haven't been able to take the rest and the time that I actually wanted to take. So, and it has caught up to me today. I am not feeling very well. I am extremely tired. the sudden chill that we've had these last few mornings. It's been quite chilly. That has really got to me as well with my asthma. I had a bit of an attack this morning. It wasn't anything too serious. I took my Ventolin and it cleared up not long after taking it, but I think all the stress of everything that's going on. Actually, I wasn't stressed about the moving of the house. It was this jury duty that caused the actual stress. But because of that, I think things just taken a turn. I had food poisoning last week, my own fault. Not checking the eggs that I was cooking with like I normally do, and I think one of them was off and I ended up with food poisoning. And I think any other week it probably wouldn't have affected me as much, but with all the stress, it's just been too much. Anyhow, I'm in the shop this week. This is my final week where I know exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to try and get what I need to get done. I've got a few things I need to put away. I've got some things I want to test. I have an order I need to go and pack. And I've also told a customer who bought in a refill on the weekend that I would do that today. So I'm going to get as much as I can possibly get done. As I said, it is almost lunchtime. I've got I take a break usually about 20 past 12, and it is almost that time. So I might take 5 minutes out to eat some lunch and just relax. And then I'm going to try and get as much done as I can this afternoon, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go home early. I really do need to rest. So yeah, let's see what we can actually get done over the next couple of hours, because if I'm going to go home early, I'll go home between 2 and 2:30 so I avoid the school traffic. And then yeah, we'll see where it goes. I am so tired, I can't even think straight. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking and go and clean up these jars for the refill and put away these shower fizzes that I've just made. Morning. I ended up going home. Well, I closed the shop up at 2 o'clock, went to the post office. By the time I left the shop, it was about 2:30. I went home and I took some antihistamines because my face was feeling on fire, and I had a feeling it was a histamine stress issue. When we get stressed, our bodies apparently naturally produce histamine, and for most people you can break it down and it doesn't affect you. But I find when I get stressed, I produce the histamine and my body doesn't break it down quick enough, and then I get incredibly itchy all across my midriff, and my skin feels like it's on fire. And when I've had some pretty bad attacks, people can't even give me a kiss or hug me or anything like that. It gets quite bad. So I basically got home yesterday, took some antihistamine, and within about 20 minutes of taking it, the fire in my cheeks really disappeared. So I know it was just stress that was making me so ill yesterday. And then we basically had just a really nice relaxing day. I got home to a lovely clean house. We had the cleaners come in and do that bond clean, and it was so good. They've cleaned the oven, they've cleaned all the window tracks and everything else, and it was just so nice to walk into a clean house and then just collapse on the sofa and and relax. So yeah, I then went to bed quite well. I watched the UK 1% Club, and then it was like, I gotta go to bed now. So off I went to bed about 8:30, and I slept the whole night through, and I've woken up feeling so much better. It was a bit warmer this morning as well, so the cold didn't quite get to me. But yeah, feeling so much better this morning. So we are going to be right to do the whole day. I got home to find a delivery. I've got my New Directions delivery here. Although I'm trying to take as much home as I possibly can from the shop, there are still things I have to order. I know I need to make some foaming face scrub at some point before I leave the shop, and I only have like 15 of my tubes left, so I have had to order some of those. And then I've also had to order a couple of other ingredients just to keep that shipping down. I knew I was running really low on a few others, so rather than just paying shipping on that and then placing another order in 2 months time and paying more shipping, I just added in what I knew I was going to order on the next one. So I'll have to go and get that lot unpacked. I'm going to go plug my computer in. Now, I did bring another box in with me yesterday, but I was feeling so lousy. I just couldn't even share what was in this box. And I'm actually really looking forward to it. Again, this is one of those things, I know I'm trying to get stuff out of the shop, but I really wanted to get this stuff in and start having a little bit of a play with it. I am basically, I don't often say bad things about companies, but I am basically over Aroma. I have been using Aroma candle supplies when they were called natural candle supplies. I've been using them for well over 12 years now, and I've been pretty loyal to them, especially when they actually opened up their Brisbane warehouse. I basically took all of the stuff I was ordering from all the different candle places and bought it all into Aroma so that I didn't have to pay shipping. And it basically saved me a couple of $1,000s a year in shipping costs by bringing all that stuff into Aroma and picking it up from their Brisbane warehouse. But it seems to be that in the last few months that they've really lost the plot. I recently found out they were meant to have sold to Dusk, and I recently found an article on the financial stock exchange stuff saying that the deal actually fell through. And since then, I don't know what they've been playing at, but they have basically annoyed a lot of people out there. Like a week before, the week leading up to Christmas last year, I've spoken about this on one of my vlogs, they shut the Brisbane warehouse. No warning given to anyone at all. They just shut the warehouse. So people who are trying to get stock for Christmas suddenly can't get their stock, and they're having to order and get it shipped up from Sydney. So, although it's really bad to kind of leave your ordering till last second, it was really handy that if being just like, they were literally 20 minutes away from me, if I was running really low on something and I got a massive order, I knew I could just pop down to the warehouse, go and get what I wanted and bring it back. But when they closed that Brisbane warehouse, it meant that you were having to tell people, sorry, I can't do it, I don't have enough stock, I'm not going to get it in time. But they just didn't even tell anyone. They also stopped doing like their custom printing on jars. That was in March of last year, I believe it was. But they didn't tell anyone that we're getting their custom jars. So when I actually went to go and place another custom order, I was just told, oh no, we don't do that anymore. I was like, did you not think to tell us that when you were stopping it, so people could have actually stocked up on what they wanted? So I was really annoyed. And I have heard rumors that they have now gone 3PL, which means third person logistics, I think it is. So basically they've closed all these warehouses down. It's not just Brisbane they did it to, they did it to Sydney, and I now believe they've done it to Perth as well. They just closed them and relocated them. They've got pickup as an option on the website, but you actually can't go and pick anything up. And if it is true that they've gone 3PL, you'll never be able to go and pick it up. So, which basically means that they've gone into another warehouse that somebody else has, whether it be that somebody owns a warehouse and has 3 or 4 different companies in it, or it could just be one company with some spare space. But basically they now don't have their own warehouse, and if it's true, and other people that have nothing to do with Aroma, like they're not specialists, don't know the fragrances and that sort of stuff, are picking and sending the orders. And I heard that they actually got rid of all of their current warehouse stuff. I don't know how true it is. I saw it, somebody put it on their page and they didn't deny it, they didn't delete it or anything like that. So I suspect it is true. But now, every time I actually go to order from Aroma, half the stuff I want isn't in the Brisbane warehouse and I'm having to pay shipping. Even though it's meant to be free metro shipping, which they've increased the rate on, I don't get it because it's coming from, half my order's coming from Perth, the other half is coming from Sydney, and maybe one thing's coming out of Brisbane. And it's pushing my shipping costs back up. So I've decided I've had enough of them. I've just had an absolute gutful of how they've been treating their customers over the last 6 to 8 months, and I just want out. So, long way of saying, I am now actually trialing scent method. Now I have been using scent method for some of my soaping fragrances, and most of them have been, at first I wasn't too fussed on it, and then I think some of it's to do with the soaping temperatures, and now that I've adjusted that a little bit, the fragrances are coming through on these soaps. I don't like the fact that when you order 100ml, they send it in 250ml bottles. I don't like that, but they do have some lovely scents, and from what I actually understand, the perfumer at Scent Method used to work for Luxe Aroma, who are the fragrance side of Aroma. So they actually know what they're doing. They've been able to replicate so many of the Aroma fragrances. And although that frustrated me at first because I want new and different fragrances, if I'm going to swap to them, I do actually want some of my more popular aroma fragrances like lemongrass and Persian lime. So what I have done is I placed an order with them to get some of their fragrances in. I have got lemongrass and Persian lime. I ordered 100ml and got 2 of the 50ml bottles. It's cheaper to order 100ml than it is to order 250s, but they always send you 2. What I want to do is double check that they actually smell, if not the same, very similar. So that's Scent Method. And if you don't know that trick, smelling your own skin actually brings your nose back to what you smell of, so you can actually smell the new notes again. And I think they are actually identical, so it looks like I might actually be swapping it to them. Scent Method do make all their fragrances here in Australia, which is something that I have always promoted with my candles, is that they're Australian made. I can see people peeking through my window, so I'm going to have to go and open up. I have also bought in their diffuser oil, so I'm going to give that a go, and we'll see how we go with actually doing some of this testing. But I need to go and open my door and then pop all this away. Oh no, they've just walked off, so I'll continue. So yeah, I have actually bought in a couple of their 500ml. I have been mentioning in a few of my videos that I got in some of their scents to try for making eau de parfum, not perfume oils, because that you can actually use more fragrance. And Scent Method are the only ones that give you the full IFRA ratings of what you can actually use them with. Just because a fragrance oil says that it can be used as body use for 5%, that does not mean to say you can actually put 5% on your face. Quite often with a fragrance oil, you might only be able to say use 1.2% on your face, but you can use it at say 3% on the rest of your body, use it at 5% in soaps. Each different type of product that we make has a different category on the IFRA table, and it goes by where you actually put it on your body. And Scent Method are the only ones here in Australia that I can find that give you that full IFRA rating. So whenever I order their fragrances in, I actually print up that IFRA rating so that I've got them, in case they discontinue it, I have actually got it. But my perfume oils went so well, I have ended up ordering the 500ml. What I am going to do, I've also got in their wax to try as well, but I don't know whether I'll swap to the wax or try and find another one. We'll see. I have to do some testing. But what I'm going to do with the smaller bottles is I'm actually going to make these into candles, so I can test the fragrance in candles and test the wax as well. So that will be something I do today. Well, not necessarily today, this week, depending what we've got. So we'll get that out. I have a new packing box. every time I get a box with my orders, it's like, is this one good enough for packing? We'll keep that one. So I'm going to go and get this lot actually put away. We'll get the doors open. It's a beautiful day out there, and as I said, I'm feeling so much better today. I'm not sure what else we're going to do, because really this week it is a lot about actually pottering around and getting myself organised for the move. But I definitely need to go and get that door open. It's now 9:05. o'clock in the afternoon, and I have just been pottering around doing the odd jobs and things that need to be done. I had some customers come in with some candle refills, and I told them that I would actually do them today so they can be picked up on the weekend, because I really don't know what I'm doing next week for 4 weeks, and they actually come over from off the islands. So I said I will be, you know, updating people whether I'll be open or closed on social media and stuff like that, but if they do want to come and get them on the weekend, they'll definitely be ready for them. So I've been doing that. I've also poured my test candles. I have poured them both using the new wax that I want to try, but one of them I've poured using the scent method lemongrass and Persian lime fragrance, because I know what that should smell like while it's burning. I want to make sure it smells the same as what I currently have, so as not to upset my customers. And then I've also filled another one with black amber lavender, which is one of my aroma fragrances, to see how it smells in comparison to my other wax that I was using. So just to see what the scent method fragrances are actually like, and then also what the waxes are like. It all makes sense in my head why I've done it that way. So I've got all those done, and then I actually started thinking about other things that I need to actually put away or, you know, try and sell and that sort of stuff. So I had a big bucket of soapy bits, you know, the odds and ends from when I make soaps. Maybe they're you know, when I've had a little bit of soap left over from piping and I've made little hearts and stuff like that, they all just go in a bucket. And I figured, well, I'll just actually bag up all my soapy bits, so they're all out the front now, and I've already sold a couple of those today. They usually are online as well, but I only have about 5 of them, and I don't want to oversell, so at the moment they're not online. If they don't sell this week, then I'll actually put them back online so people can purchase them there too. And now what I'm doing is bagging up my little soap samplers. So this is all the little soap ends from off the soaps I make. I now actually do them as a little sampler. I love these because I hate when you have a big bar of soap that just lasts and lasts and lasts, and you really want a new smell to use. So I love using my little soap ends because I get to have lots of different soaps quickly. So they're really good. They're also good for things like traveling, to give to kids to use so they're not wasting a whole bar. I put about 180 grams worth of soap, but I really actually put about 200 grams. There's about 4 to 5 pieces of soap that go into these bags. And sorry, someone kind of just walked up to my door and started text messaging, and then they've just walked back off. But it was really weird because the way I've got my stuff set up out the front, he's quite literally walked to the front door. Really, really odd. Anyhow, these little soap sampler sets, these are actually available both in store and online. I've got about 30 of them, I think, made up at the moment. So they are actually available both online and in store. Almost done with these. Once I've done this, there's really not much else I need to do for today. I'm going to go and stock tape the lip balms, and we might actually make those tomorrow. And the other thing that I pulled out while I was putting away my new directions order was the tubes that I usually put my excuse me, got hiccups. I usually put my under eye cream or my facial gel into them, and I kind of just want to, I think there's 22 in there, so I'm going to print up the formulas so that tomorrow I can make facial gel and eye cream to keep me going while we do the whole move thing. So, and that's one less thing I then have to pack up when we go. So yeah, that's the plan for the rest of the afternoon, and then we'll be back in tomorrow to do it all over again. Oh, I'm glad to be into work today. There's so much going on at home at the moment that sometimes it's just nice to actually get away. We had the gardeners round this morning. They arrived really early. I hate the sound of the lawnmower and the whippersnipper and leaf blowers and stuff, but it's essential in the yard at the moment. They're giving it a really good clean up. They're getting rid of all the things that are growing through the fence from the neighbour's yard, getting rid of all the leaves, really preparing it for the photos which are going to get taken next week for the house. But it was just so noisy. Usually I get up in the morning, I do a couple of things, I eat my breakfast, drink my coffee, and just sit and read my book and, you know, get started for the day. But this morning it was just so loud and noisy, and it's like, oh, I really want to go to work, but I know that the traffic's going to be lousy out there, so I just have to hang on. But as soon as it got to the time when I knew that the traffic would have cleared, that was it. I left. And I don't know what's going on these days, but Friday seems to be the best day to actually come into work. There's not nearly as much traffic on the road, so I don't know if the schools round by us have changed their hours on a Friday or something, but I'm not complaining. I'm 10 minutes early to work, so we'll be able to get ourselves all set up. I got another delivery come in last night, and I think these guys may have been taking lessons from off of Amazon, but it's another packing box. It's another box, a really good sturdy box. If anyone's ever moved before, and grab some scissors, you'll know that moving boxes, they are not cheap. To get good decent boxes that are going to hold heavyweight stuff like your cutlery and kitchen appliances and stuff like that, you're paying for a small box like this. You can pay up to $5, or well, you can pay a minimum of $5 if not more for a shipping or a moving box. They are just so expensive. So I have actually, as well as ordering stuff that I actually need, I've been pretty strategic with it as well, not only thinking about shipping costs but also thinking, can I actually place an order that's large enough to get a shipping box or a packing box? And I was not expecting this order to come in such a big box. It's got more paper in it than anything, and this is what's in it. We've got 1, 2, 3. This is literally all that is in this big box. It's so funny. But at least I've got another moving box. These are all essential oils I've got in from Australian Wholesale Oils. Normally I only order 500 grams worth, and I was ordering off New Directions, but the price of essential oils has really risen over the last couple of years. Some of them have, if not doubled, have tripled in price. So I decided to, on George's recommendation from Dawn Organics, we've been talking, he was telling me he was moving some of his essential oils over to Australian Wholesale Oils, and he's told me that they are really nice. I was running low on peppermint, so I just decided to get theirs, but he was telling me about their lavender. I've been using the Bulgarian lavender, but it is expensive. I can't warrant putting it in soaps and stuff like that. It's really, really nice, and lavender is expensive anyway, and it's cheaper. When I got it, it was cheaper than buying it from suppliers, but I've been really careful about what I use it in, and I wanted something I could add into soaps, and because I'm after it just for the smell, I have actually gone for a commercial blend of lavender instead of the really expensive ones. Can't get the stopper out of it, but I can smell it. Oh, and it does smell nice. So that was my main concern, was what it was going to smell like. But no, it does actually smell, it smells really nice for a lavender. So I will be able to make a few lavender essential oil soaps without pushing the cost of it up, because although people want essential oils in their soaps and products, no one is prepared to pay the price. Quite often people don't really understand that the essential oils are costing 3-4 times the price of fragrance oils, and they think that because you can make a lavender fragrance oil soap and sell that for one price, you should be able to make an essential oil one the same price, and it's just not possible. So now that I have got this one, I should be able to incorporate that into a few more products. But yeah, that is literally what's in that massive box. I also got myself some new citronella. The one that I've got on my side is probably not at its freshest, so I ordered myself a new citronella, which goes into my outdoor body spray, and then I also ordered the peppermint, and I like using the Mentha Avansis, I think it is peppermint. It is the stronger of the ones that are out there. So yeah, we've got some big 1 kilo bottles of them, because it was cheaper to order them in 1 kilo, and I use these ones a lot, so I know that they're going to stay fairly fresh and while I'm actually using them. Oh, that that other cap. The cap came off that lavender so easy, like the seal, and I just cannot get the seal off this citronella. Maybe it's because my hands are just so cold. Anyhow, I'll get the lids off later and have a smell. There was one other thing while I was actually editing the videos last night that I thought, oh, I was meant to show you guys. These actually came in last week, which is why I almost forgot. It must have been about 2, maybe 3 vlogs ago, I mentioned that I was looking at getting in some custom made printed bags for sale that were going to match my already big bags that I do. So when people have quite big orders, or if they're ordering quite a number of candles which are heavy, I don't like putting them in paper bags, because the paper bags, they're paper, they rip, they tear, they can't hold really heavy weights. So I initially had these bags made up, so it's got my details on both sides of the bag, and a lot of people do actually reuse these, bring them back into me, so they're really good investment for me and great advertising. I think I've said it before, really bothers me when small businesses will not give you a bag for their purchases, because I will advertise your brand if I walk down your street with one of your bags that has got all your details on it. So these are a really good way of doing some advertising when people are walking around. When I first moved into this shop, even when people were only having small orders on market days, I was specifically giving these bags out because people knew and recognized them. And I had so many people either saying to me that they were stopped in the street asking where I'd moved to because they'd seen the bag, or people were actually trying to find me because, again, they'd seen it, and they were stopping people to find out where they'd got where they'd found me. So such a good marketing tool. But I've been getting my paper bags. Let me grab one. I have been getting my paper bags printed, and these are all done through Smart Bags. And although it does cost a lot more to buy a printed paper bag than it does to buy a plain one and stamp it, the time that it was taking me to stamp on them, and then having misprints when I was stamping, or not fully not a fully coated stamp and stuff like that. And then, but I also did the thing where I was sticking stickers on them, which I actually didn't like the look of. That all cost money through indirect things like time and the buying the inks and stuff like that. And I decided to get them printed. Now, the one problem I have with getting them printed is that it only gets printed on one side. So if someone's walking down the street that way, they can't see it. From that side, it looks like just a standard paper bag. It doesn't stand out as much as these do. Now, I was on the site one day and I needed to reorder some of the bags because I was really low. And I noticed, because they'd had a new site, that it said you could get custom made and printed bags. So not just the size that they do, you could actually request a certain size. I thought, go on, just for giggles, let's go and see how much it's going to cost me. So I wrote to them and said, look, really interested in getting some custom made bags. Can you make them the same size as the toddler bag, but print it like this? And they said, yeah, sure, we can. It's like, okay, you can, but how much is it going to be? And do you know what? The price they came back with, you have to purchase at least 1,000, but the price they came back with was less than this paper bag printed. So I decided, why not? And look how stinking cute they are. They are just so adorably cute. And like, I knew what size this bag was, but for some reason it just looks so much cuter in these little orange bags here. And now they're printed on both sides. The only thing, like, we were discussing what I was going to get printed on them and stuff like that. The only thing, because of the weave that's on these bags, on these paper bags, I was having my QR code printed on them so people could scan them, go to the socials, go to the website and things like that. But because of the weave that's on these bags, they can't actually put QR codes on them because they won't scan, because it doesn't print nice and smooth, and then you can't actually scan them. So I just basically did them so that they match my bigger bags. And when I got them out, they were just so incredibly cute. And I actually got them last week after I'd had this food poisoning, and I was at the end of the day, like the next day, and I was slowly starting to feel better but still feeling pretty crook when these actually arrived, and they just brightened my day up so much. So as soon as I am through all of these paper bags that I've got, these will start getting handed out in the shop because they're just so super cute and adorable. And once I have both of these, in fact once we actually move up to the Sunshine Coast, I'm just trying to work out how to get it into my accounting program, into my FPOS program. I will actually do a rebate, so if you bring a bag back to one of my bags back to reuse for your next purchase, you will actually get a little bit of a discount off your order for reusing the bags. So I am so super happy about that purchase. Can't wait to finish off all these paper bags. People think, oh no bag. No, you take my bag because I want to implement these ones, but I need to use those paper ones first. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure my 10 minutes early is probably almost up, and I've got to get that door open. It is absolutely glorious out there, and I can see there's a big queue at the bakery this morning, so hopefully it will be a really good day. I'm going to make lip balms, and I've also got to put away these refill candles over here. today it has been, we got in another refill order, which I am suspecting I'm going to get a few more refill orders over the next couple of weeks before I go. All of my regular refill customers will be bringing them in. So I have actually poured those again because of that whole jury duty thing. So they're already poured, and she'll be able to collect them either over the weekend or on any days that I am actually in the shop as of next week. I am just packing up an order, a very late order on Pimp My Soap. It actually did officially close the website down on the 19th of May, but I had Lisa from Candlewitch message me to see if I had any of my melt molds left, and if she could buy them. So she's actually bought all of the ones that I had left, and I'm just getting them packed up now. I've kind of made a decision when I move up to the Sunshine Coast with the shop, there's going to be a few little changes that do happen. I'm going to be refining or redoing how I'm doing some of the stuff. So one of the things I'll be doing, I'm actually going to get rid of the big blocks of melts and only do the little blocks. The amount of time it takes to have to keep both lots in stock and to have the packaging for both lots takes up a fair bit of space. And I've just decided that rather than doing that, I'm going to work smarter, not harder, and I'm only going to do the small melts, but there will be bigger discounts when you buy more of the smaller ones. So I did put all of my clamshell melts up for sale, and that's all gone. With Pimp My Soap, I did, as I said, officially close the website down on the 19th of May. The domain name actually runs out tomorrow, the 25th of May. So once that happens, we won't be able to access the site. Once the payment for this has come through, I'm actually going to deactivate the website completely. I'll be also removing the social media pages on the 31st of May. I'm just really trying to condense my life down to the essentials, so I'm not trying to do too many things. I think we get so caught up with what we have to do in terms of social media and all that sort of stuff that we take on all this stuff that the reality of it is the more we take on, the less we can actually focus on certain things, and you can never really then give 100 or 110% of yourself to that one thing. And that has been something that I found. I've had Soy and Shea, I started Pimp My Soap. I also started another page, Hope with PCOS, where I was talking about a few things that I was going through, but I found I didn't really have the time to put into all three of them. So I did close down Hope with PCOS. Now I'm going to close down Pimp My Soap. It hopefully gives me more of that time to put into Soy and Shea and start growing it again, but that does mean taking away all the social medias and things like that. I was really concerned that I was going to end up with so much biodegradable glitter when I closed down Pimp My Soap, but a lovely lady called Alison, she has started a business called Silver Hollow, and she is going to be selling biodegradable glitter among other things. So she actually bought all of the biodegradable glitter that I had, so she cleared me out of that very quickly, which was such a huge relief to see that all gone. And basically at the end of it, when I closed the website down, I did have all these molds available, which I don't now, but I ended up with only 3 different types of silicone molds, and there was about 4 or 5 of each of them left, so there really wasn't a lot. And I'm probably going to actually take those down to one of the charity shops because they're brand new. They can actually sell them to do various things, so I'll take it down to one of the charity shops for them to do with as they want. So a huge thank you to everyone who did help me clear out everything to do with Pimp My Soap. It was such a huge relief to see so much of it gone. Although it didn't work, I don't regret actually starting it, because at the end of the day you actually regret things more if you don't give something a go to see how things go, to see whether it could have been successful or not. I just feel if I'd started it in a better economic environment, it probably would have gone a lot better than what it did, but unfortunately just the timing of it really didn't help, and then I just really didn't have the time to put into it, and it was affecting Soy and Shea. I was taking funds out of Soy and Shea to pay for things like the website hosting, to pay for, to get in all the new stock that I was trying to stock up, and because the stock wasn't selling quick enough, I was literally having to borrow that money, and things that I wanted to grow in Soy and Shea I couldn't grow because I didn't have the money to grow it. So I don't regret starting it, and it is sad to have seen it gone, but I'm also very relieved that it's gone. I can now start focusing back on Soy and Shea. So I've just got this order all done up. I've got about half an hour, well, just over half an hour until I have to go down to the post office. So what I'm going to do is print up the labels for the refills over there so that they're ready to do for tomorrow. And I'll also print up the labels for the lip balms that we made today as well. And then after that, it should be time to go down to the post office and then head home. Good morning. It is a wet, miserable, grey day out there, but the cafe does have a number of people sitting there, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of a flow through from off of that. But we've already had such a fantastic week. As I suspected, the number of refills that I've had, I knew that was going to happen the minute people knew I was going to close down, and that's what's really generating a lot of my income at the moment, are the refills. So really, really thankful for that. We'll see how many more we get today. I do have to label up the ones we did yesterday. I also printed up all those labels for the lip balm, so we'll get those labeled up. There really isn't much I need to do today. So what I am thinking, I've got these tubes that I want to actually get filled up. So that's like, these are what I put my facial gel and my eye cream in. The really frustrating thing is though, I did a quick count because it didn't look right. I have 24 tubes and I have 24 of the lids to go on the tubes. But when I looked at the caps, I've only actually got 18 caps. So I'm missing 6, and that's about $12 worth of packaging that I'm missing, or that I can't use because of not having enough caps. I am going to try and write to New Directions because I've also counted my my tubes as well, and I'm missing 5 caps in there too, so a little bit annoyed about it, but I'll write to New Directions and see if I can actually get the missing caps sent. Otherwise I've got 6 tubes that essentially I can't use because I don't have the proper caps, or I can't fill them to sell them. What I'll end up having to do, if they won't send me the caps, is I'll end up filling these tubes for myself when I want to, you know, when I need to top up my hand cream and stuff at home. I'll just pop my hand cream into these with the top but without the caps, or I actually do have one of these at home with a cap, so I'll just keep reusing my cap at home. It is frustrating when that happens, but we'll see. I'll write to New Directions and see if we can actually get the spare caps sent through so I can make them. But what I will do is, with the 18 that I know I can definitely put caps, like full caps and everything on, I'm going to make some under eye cream and some facial gel. I'll see how many. My facial gel sells really, really quick, but I'm pretty sure I've already got a spare batch in the drawer, but I don't have any of the under eye cream. So I'll make up probably 10 under eye cream and 8 facial gels. We'll see. I'll go and do my count, and then that means that's one more less thing to actually have to pack up. And I know it kind of doesn't make sense because I'm still filling these jars and putting them on the shelf, but basically because I then have made products, they're all just going to go into one box, whereas I can't put empty tubes in with made products, so that's in 2 boxes. So it actually is condensing things down, and it's also using up some of the ingredients, so it's actually condensing what is essentially empty tubes and ingredients into a full tube. So it does actually condense the amount of stuff I need to pack down, and also means I've got stuff when we're moved, I'll have it packed in such a way that as online orders come through, I can actually pick them out of the boxes and send them off without too much disruption. It was a really easy trip in this morning because it was being a Saturday. I've got 5 minutes until I open the door. So I'm going to go and put this lot away, print up my recipes, and then we'll get on with the day. I honestly don't think there's going to be much happening in terms of what I'm doing other than labeling and making these creams, because I don't really need to do much. So it'll be a nice relaxing day. But I'm only here until 2 o'clock, so I've only got 5 hours in the shop, so I don't want an awful lot of stuff to do. So that's a good thing. Let's get on to it. I have got about half an hour until I close. No, I haven't yet labelled up my lip balms. I have made the facial gel, and I decided rather than just making the 8 that I was going to do, I went ahead and made 20 because it's easier to make that batch size. And I'm actually swapping over into these new bottles here. They're just easier for me to actually fill. I think they're going to look much nicer with their labels on and things like that. So I ended up making that. I've got the eye cream cooling down, which I'll package up tomorrow. And then I decided I really needed to give this place a good clean. I haven't been able to do that for a little while because it's actually been quite busy. So when it's busy, I don't like having the vacuum going and having the floors wet and stuff. But it did drop quiet about 12:30. So I took advantage of that and decided to vacuum and mop. And then I was also able to clean up out the back there as well. So we've got lovely clean floors and a nice clean area out the back there as well, all ready for tomorrow. So now that I've done all that, it's time for me to sit down and actually start labeling these up. If I don't finish doing them today, that's no big deal because I'll be able to sit here tomorrow, Sunday, and do some of this as well. So I'm going to get on with doing this. I'll go home this afternoon and I'm going to start editing a little bit more of your video, of your vlog, so we can get it out nice and early in the week. It's Sunday, it's market day, it's a good day out there, it's beautiful, sunny, it's a little bit warmer than what it has been as well. The bakery next door is busy and oh, my store smells absolutely amazing. All I can smell are bread and croissants and stuff like that. And I get so many people saying, doesn't it just make you hungry? It smells really good, but the reason it doesn't make me hungry is because being a French bakery, and she actually is French and she imports a lot of her ingredients from France, so it's good stuff. She uses a lot of butter and because that's cow dairy and I can't have cow dairy without making myself really sick, and it actually doesn't bother me, but it's so nice to come in and have those nice smells, because with some of the other shops we've had next door, it's not always been nice smells that come wafting through, especially when they use things like fish sauce. It gets a bit whiffy, and it used to get a bit whiffy, so really nice smells in here. Hopefully it will drag people into the shop today as well, but it's been a really good week so far. So really happy. I did take all of my cloths and aprons home yesterday to give them a wash, so I need to go and pop that away. I'm going to finish labeling up the lip balms, the facial gel serum that I've got, and we need to package up the under eye cream today as well. Sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. I'll just be able to do that as people are coming and going. So I'm going to go get this lot put away. I'm going to go and pop the kettle on because I haven't had coffee this morning, and we'll get on with the day. goodness, what a week it has been. Today I haven't done much filming like I usually don't on a Sunday because I have so many people coming and going, but I did manage to get everything packed, wrapped, labelled that needed to be done and put away. I've had lots of people coming through and I'm so happy. I had, at the start of this week, I think there was 12 extra large candles which were leftovers from Christmas and Halloween that I have been trying to get rid of for so long, and for some reason this week they've just all gone and I've only got 2 left, so there's just 2 of them left on the rack to move. And probably what I'll end up doing every so often when I'm really struggling to move stock off the shelf, I make up these mystery bags. So I just go around picking random things to go into the bags. They're super heavily discounted, but you do get things like extra large candles and stuff like that. And I've never had anyone come back to me and say that they've been disappointed with their mystery bags. So that will probably be what I end up doing if they don't sell next week, is making up some mystery bags for them. But really happy that 10 of those have sold this week. So that's one more thing I don't have to move. But yeah, it's been an absolutely awesome week. It's actually been a really good month, which is another thing that's really been worrying me about doing this jury duty. I know a lot of the reason for having such a good month is because people are aware that I'm closing down. They're coming in to stock up when they can. So my sales, they are higher. I actually did a comparison to this month last year to this month, and I am almost double, just under double what I made last year. So my sales are really high, and my biggest fear is with this jury duty, if I'm not here, I'm not making money and people might not come back to come and stock up and things like that. So it's this real serious stress that's been put on me with it, that, you know, for months and months we've had very little consumer confidence in spending money, and all of a sudden that consumer confidence for me has come back and I'm making that money, and all of a sudden I've been told, well, you might not be able to open. I do know that I have got Monday off because Friday afternoon I got the message to say I am not required, so that was a bit of a relief. It means I can get everything I need to do on do Monday. Like, I've got all my Patreon posts that I need to do for June. I've got all my Instagram Canva posts and stuff that I need to get done. So I'm going to spend Monday doing that, and hopefully I don't get called in on Tuesday. I have actually spoken to a few people who have come into the shop who are aware of me being called up for jury duty. And the other thing that really bothers me about it is I actually personally don't believe that we have a good enough jury system for us to actually have juries. I believe we do need a jury, but I don't like the system we have for actually picking them, because you are vetted by the lawyers and everything. So they're actually hand picking who they want on their jury based on whether your beliefs and your way of life and everything else goes with what they're trying to get their clients on or off of. So I actually do believe that our juries are prejudiced. I believe that they are biased. I honestly just don't believe in the way that they are actually picked. I honestly think that a good jury would be one where 12 names are randomly picked out of a hat. You are stuck in a jury box that has a one-way glass, so you can see out as to what's going on in the courtroom, but the lawyers do not know who is on that jury panel, and make them actually work and do the job that they are meant to be doing, and not taking the easy way out by getting people on the panel that they know is going to sympathize with them. So apart from the stress it's putting on my business, the other thing is I don't believe in a jury system the way that we do it. But that's my little high horse for the week. I am going to head home. I have to go finish painting the front door that Miss Lucy destroyed for us. I'm going to go home. It's a beautiful day, so I should be able to go and put a couple of coats of paint on that so it's all ready. We get our photographs done on Tuesday, and then the following week the house goes on the market. Videos on here are going to be a little bit odd for the next couple of months. It's not going to be as regular as what they usually are. I actually don't have any I've only got 2 soap videos that I have to edit and put on there, and otherwise I don't have any soaps I'm making. So I'll come up with something, but just be aware that for the next couple of months the YouTube videos are going to be a little bit different to what they usually are. But I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me this week as I'm starting to prepare to shut down. Next month you will be seeing a lot more of this getting packed down, and I'll let you know how I go with this whole jury duty thing. You'll be so sick of me saying that. But otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me this week. If you did, as always, if you did enjoy it, why not leave a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you then. Bye.